Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide is a vital tool and a helpful media outlet for business enterprises to connect and to reach out to Filipino American consumers. For more information, go to www.lasvegasfrg.com or you can email at lasvegasfrg@gmail.com.
From your PHLV radio family, Merry Christmas and all the best in the coming year.
Merry Christmas from your friends at PHLV Radio.
It's the ultimate guide to anything Filipino in Las Vegas. This is the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show on PHLV Radio.
Hello everyone! Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Good evening and welcome back to another episode. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Cirimille Paglinawan. I am your host of the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide here at PHLV Radio. If you don't remember, a couple episodes ago, I had some pageant queens on here, and I'm excited to say we recently just crowned some new Fil-Am Nevada queens. We have our Miss, our Teen, our Senior, as well as our Misses. So I just want to say a big congratulations to the FOSI organization and Miss Fabulous Pageants, Tita Ellen, for this amazing pageant that you put on for the first time ever. And I'm really excited to see these queens do an amazing job in the community. Congratulations to you all. And something that I really want to stress too is I want to say congratulations to all the queens that had entered into the pageant, because when I joined a pageant, I just wanted to do it for fun, to see what I can do for myself, what I can do for the community, put myself out there. And that right there is the hardest part. That right there is the invisible crown that everyone wears, whether you have a physical crown or not. So it's just,
Sinuportahan ng
it's amazing
buong
to see all these
Fil-Am
queens
community sa Las
out there,
Vegas ang proyektong ito
making
ng
themselves
Fil-Am
proud.
Civic Action International
And to
o
continue
FASAY
on with the pageant
na buo
topic,
din sa
I have a really
pakikipagtulungan.
exciting guest. And the reason why I'm bringing her on here today is because I really want to dive in and educate, a lot of our community out there about, the realness and the exciting and the dive deep into what pageants are about, But before I introduce her, I just want to remind you all that Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide is live every Thursday at 6 p.m. on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also listen to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio, sorry. Or listen to us on the PHLV Radio app. Okay, I have a really exciting guest today. She is someone who I would say is my twin. I'm just kidding. But she is also a incredible woman in this community and on this earth. She wears many hats. She hones many talents. And introducing to you all, Miss Christy-Anne Lopez.
Oh, thank you, girl. Hello, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Maraming salamat for having me here. Beautiful studio. And I'm so proud of you. I have a beautiful host to hang out with all night.
Much. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's the middle of the holiday season, so I love it, but you know me, I'm a procrastinator, so I'm getting everything together now. It's happening. So
6 days away, I think, right?
Something like that. We're gonna get there. Yes,
it's crazy. Like I said, as you can see, she is wearing this beautiful crown on her head. I had asked Christy to send me a bio, okay? Because I wanted to introduce her, really like extravagantly and nice. But when I read this bio, I was like, you know what? This deserves more than just a quick intro. So I'm going to read this to you all right now. And then you guys can soak it in and then we'll dive
I thought I was going to get in trouble and you were going to say, but Christy didn't send it to me. I'm like,
no,
my bio.
You
I don't remember.
But I read it and it was like, I was like, this deserves a little spotlight. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You guys are all going to be amazed. So, Miss Christy-Anne Lopez is a multiple international pageant title holder, including Ms. Regency International 2017, Ms. Philippines World 2018, Ms. World America Petite 2021, and newly crowned Ms. Universe 2023. She has a bachelor's in broadcast journalism. She is a television producer, director, executive producer of Regency International West Coast Pageant. She has also been a product specialist and spokesmodel for Hyundai and an on-camera host. And she's also the proud CEO of Studio Sash, which is why she's also here today. I wanted to introduce her business. It's a pageant consulting service where she takes pride in helping young ladies reach their pageant goals. The Las Vegas-based beauty queen has traveled the country directing dance competitions, producing fashion shows, and trade show modeling. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Oh my God, you are better.
She has also worked with public figures such as Nicki Minaj, Paula Abdul, Vanessa Hudgens, and many more. Her work has been seen on multiple TV networks, Fox, I didn't know this, Mix TV, E! Entertainment, and today you can watch her on as a prominent cast member on Food Network's Chef Dynasty House of Fangs. It's a TV show, right, based on an actual restaurant.
Yeah, the restaurant is called Fang up in San Francisco at House of Nanking.
Yes.
So it's basically a family-owned staple Chinese restaurant up in San Francisco. So I've been with them as a server, and oh my gosh, it's a docuseries / reality show of following the ins and outs of the restaurant and hospitality industry. So, of course, people from Vegas can be able to relate to that very closely. And man, that was intense. But it is still streaming on, I believe it is on Max now.
It's on HBO Max?
On HBO Max.
Oh.
And you can look it up there. There's season 1, and you'll see my entire journey as one of their servers, and we do a bunch of really awesome events, and I met like my longtime idol, Christy Yamaguchi. It was just the most amazing experience. And to work with, I mean, the greatest thing about it is the representation of it all. It was an all Asian cast.
Yes, yeah.
And so to really be the only Filipino American on the cast was a big deal. I got to highlight lumpia and pancit and talk about my upbringing in the kitchen with my family. So
you got to talk you got to show a little bit of our Filipino culture.
I did, and I didn't expect to at all. And of course, I mean, you know how it is, like reality shows, you sit down and you have your interviews with the producers after. I'd be in tears every time. I don't know why, talking about, you know, my family and upbringing. And I think it was just because we don't get to see a lot of Filipinos do that.
We don't.
We don't get to hear or see it.
That's very true.
So I think like in a lot of times I had like my own out-of-body experience. Like, wow, I can't believe I get to tell people what is inside lumpia. I mean, people know what lumpia is, but some people don't.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of cool. Like you said, I feel like, you know, people know Filipinos and they know like we have a kind of a presence, right? But they don't really know like deep into like what we are about and our food and all of that. So I'm glad you were able to be the one to start this hopefully domino effect of
we'll pray for that. Yes.
Filipino pride, you know, being out there in the community and social media.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely happening. I feel like there's so much more representation and more faces and recognizable culture factors that people are just starting to like really celebrate. So it's exciting.
How exciting! Yes. And it's not even Filipino American history.
I know.
It's all the time. So you just were recently crowned Miss Universe World. Is that what it is, right?
Yes. So it is Ms. Universe, and then they're under the umbrella of Ms. World International. Oh. So I was able to represent in the petite division. Okay. But going back to representation, I competed as Ms. USA. So I think that was another big deal this year to be able to represent as a Fil-Am girl, first generation. And I, you know, some people were like, "Oh, are you Miss Philippines?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually Miss USA." And so that was just really,
that was
so great. Cool.
What was I know, okay, so like I said, she has a pageant consulting, right? So she's always helping girls train and coach. But on the other side, what's your preparation and training like?
Well, thankfully, I feel like when I am helping and coaching my clients and other girls, that I feel like I'm also doubling down. And it helps me at the same time. Yeah. But it is very different to go from coach and mentor to being in the hot seat. I mean, I already just said I'm so much of a procrastinator.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh my gosh, like, dang it, now it's my turn and I have to prepare. But, I mean, one thing I always instill in just life in general is like, you know, the hard work has to pay off.
Yeah.
The rewards are truly in the work that you put in, and, you know, the journey of getting there is what it's about. And so I always have to remind myself, like, okay, Christy, you're where you are in your life because of the hard work that you put in.
Yeah.
So this is just going to be another accomplishment where you can prove to yourself that to be true. So, you know, self-awareness is key.
and what is it? Taking your own advice. What is it? What's that saying that they always say? It's always easy to give others advice, but it's always kind of hard to take
your own advice. Yeah. I mean, I do my best to also get my own coaching and have a lot of like mentors and friends to be able to like check on me or check in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's really how it is for anything, right? It's like, It's so important to have a mentor. It's so important to have a coach. So important to have true supporters that are really in your corner and on your side.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's like one of those things where I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the people that were supporting me.
Oh my God. Right? I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, girl.
And going into Studio Sash, what made you want to start your own business, you know, because you were doing pageants for quite some time before you started that, right?
I actually was not. I had just recently been bitten by the pageant bug. So I'd always kind of innately been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Like I used to sell like burned CDs like in school, and I used to love fundraising or like, you know, buy
mixes.
For real. Like I was like, you guys, I got the new Britney Spears. I got the new Eminem. If your parents can't buy it for you, I'll buy it for you. Anyways, so I had started really competing in 2016.
Okay.
And my motivation behind it was really not even anything. I was really supporting a friend who was competing.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to compete with her. At that time, I was in a really rough place. I was going through a divorce. I was in a dark place, you know, and I didn't realize that pageantry or participating in a pageant was going to pull me out of this darkness and pull me out of this depression, because finally I was doing something for myself, for my own personal growth. I was able to come out, maybe not even with a crown, but at least to say that I put myself out there, as we've been talking about.
Yeah. For your own happiness.
For my own happiness, to be able to say that, you know, I can commit to something, not even know or care what the outcome is.
Yeah.
But, you know, within that experience, I made genuine friends and connections, and I had a new found love for myself.
For yourself.
I know it sounds very cheesy, but it's a newfound love and respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so from there it kind of snowballed. I kept competing. So I went from winning first runner-up, then the next following pageant I won a title, and then I was really able to see what it was like to be a title holder and to put in the work and to connect with people of the community and inspire the younger generation to be out there and volunteer. And then I realized that, you know, other young women don't exactly have the same resources.
Okay.
And so I was put in a position where I was naturally just helping the other girls out. You know, let's practice your interview skills, or let me give you some pointers because of my journalism background on how to properly give an interview, or let's, you know, practice public speaking and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized how rewarding and how good it felt to see them grow, and then to see them on stage and really listen and take everything in. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I made like some type of impact.
Yeah.
But also I have coaching as my full background. My very first job ever was a cheerleading coach for 5-year-olds. So I've always loved coaching girls. I've always loved to empower women and to see them confident, whether it's performing in front of a crowd or just to, you know, stand in front of a crowd and speak. And so then I realized, hey, this can really be something. I love it. Maybe it won't be my full-time job or full bread and butter, but we can take it somewhere. And that was back in 2018 when I started the business of Studio Sash. And I really, I feel like God and the universe gives you clear signs, right? Like when you're on the right track.
The right path, yeah.
And one of my very first clients, she competed at the Cinderella International Pageant.
Oh, yes.
It's a huge pageant.
It's a huge pageant. It is.
And she didn't have a lot of pageant experience, but she won the international title.
Oh, my God.
She was the very first girl from
amazing.
California to win internationals. I was like, hey, this is great.
You're like, this is a great.
I kind of think I like this. I can do this. And so it's just, like I said, the most rewarding feeling to be able to see young girls thrive.
Yeah. And I think, like, when you're really passionate about something, like I can tell, that's when you'll be able to really put all your all into it and help or do what you want to do, right?
Yes.
I can see that with your business. It's just like melts together so well with your personality. So
thank you, girl.
I'm proud of you for starting that.
Oh, thank you. And I mean, I think, talking to entrepreneurs all day, like, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's a lot of hustle and grind and risk, and dealing with the naysayers and pageants is a very competitive world. As you know, there's plenty of amazing established coaches out there.
Yeah,
but we just do what we can to
help.
just help and make an impact on one person at a time. So that's how I take it. Not to give myself too much pressure.
Wow, I lost my question because I was like so mesmerized. but like what you were saying, businesses, this is the resource guide, so I talk about businesses all the time. There's a lot, I think people don't understand that it's not just up all the time. There's downs and ups. So with your business, when you come across, say a challenge, what do you do, or what helps you get over that challenge and not stay in that rut,
I think it's really just true belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what I can bring to the table is probably completely different from what another coach or another competitor business can bring to the table.
Okay.
But at the same time, that's just what business is.
Right.
It is a garden of choices.
Yeah.
People are going to shop at so many different stores. They're going to enjoy so many different restaurants. They're going to come to me for what they can be able to take away from what I can offer. And that's all that we can really do and focus on.
Right.
And I also know that, when things do get tough, like, what are you going to do? Give up? Absolutely
not. You've come this far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'll even say, for example, I lose clients because you see a popularity or a shift in different coaches, social media following and things like that.
Yeah.
But I always just think that, like, you're going to be in your season when you're meant to be in your season.
Very true. Very true.
And, I really do think of everything as a garden. You have your harvest time. You have your soil time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But as long as you take care of yourself,
stay true to
and
yourself.
stay true to who you are, and are just able to authentically give what you can when you can, that's all we can do.
That's all you can do.
That's all we can do.
Absolutely. As long as you don't give up. Just like Christy said, for any aspiring, people who either want to change career paths or start a business, this might be your sign. And I really hope you guys give yourself a chance. Like Christy said, you never know what that path is going to lead to. You never know what could come out of it. So I 100%, we both are cheering you on if you're out there.
Absolutely. And sometimes I always say too, the moment where you feel like you are kind of like losing hope in a way is when, bam,
it starts.
That big opportunity comes around, and that's really your test from the universe,
I
right?
never thought about that. Okay.
But you just have to keep going.
Right.
You just have to take like 10 more steps even.
Right.
And you'll never know unless you get over the top of that mountain.
Right. Right.
Because it's gonna be right there. I promise.
Be right there.
And that's how it happens every single time. And I can really use myself as example. It's like, okay, I'm not coaching any girls. Like, what am I gonna continue to do? Like, I'm not. I don't. Girls aren't coming to me. I don't know if I have the energy to continue to reach out.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, bam, a pageant reaches out and they're like, "Hi, we'd love to use you as the coaching sponsor." And then you flourish into another different season. And so I always do my best to remind people, just when you think that you are about to give up hope,
don't do it.
Keep going.
Yeah.
That's when
you
start. That's literally when you
test.
start. That's the test. That's the test.
Wow. That is so interesting to know. And I like what you said, too, about pageant sponsorship. So is that like a thing that pageants will do? They'll reach out to like producers or hosts or brands? Is that what they do? And then they build something with you guys?
Yeah, so
girls?
depending on the pageant system, it's almost like using a pageant sponsor, like a makeup sponsor. They go,
okay.
mainly to that makeup person. So I've been able to have opportunities to be the national coaching sponsor for certain pageants. So right now I am sponsoring the America's National Miss pageant. So make sure to check it out.
Okay.
It's growing. So it's based out of the South. And now it's making its way towards the West Coast, but it's a really fabulous pageant system.
Wow,
so,
how
I'm
exciting. And if you are looking for sponsorships, anybody out there, please reach out to Christy.
Yes, please.
She is absolutely amazing to work with. I wanted to touch base on something near and dear to both of us, and that is Regency International. Regency West Coast Pageant. So you are the director of the West Coast how do you say that? Region?
Yeah, it would be like the preliminary.
Okay.
Yes.
So she is the director of California, Nevada. I don't know if she has more states that she will be adding soon, but I joined her pageant last year. First pageant ever. I met Christy, and she did the same thing. She inspired me to want to take a chance on myself, and I just went out there, had fun, and here we are. I had no idea this is going to happen.
She's not going to give the details, but she swept the whole pageant. This girl went out and crushed it, killed it. And like, Cirimille, you are the epitome of a curious go-getter. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love, people that are just curious. And I tell people, like, you need to just be more curious and then just go after it. But you asked all the right questions.
Oh my
You
God.
did your best to prepare. And again, like, prime example of like the hard work that you put in is the exact reward you're going to get. And she was constantly working hard. You were constantly out in the community. You were, checking in with me. Does this look okay? Do you like this? And, that is my job as a director, is to make sure that you're feeling comfortable with the process and that you're feeling your absolute best by the time you get to the competition. And she did it. She nailed it.
Thank you.
And the next thing for every award, we're just announcing Miss Las Vegas, Cirimille Paglinawan. And thank God I'm Filipino, because who knows, some people aren't able to get the names right.
I know, right? That was I feel like that was the hardest part. Thank you, Christy. Thank you.
Course.
I did want to shout out all of our Regency West Coast queens out there. Hello. We love you.
I love them. I love you guys more than anything. You guys all make me so proud every single day.
I love what you said about how pageantry is a sisterhood, because I never believed it, to be honest, until I joined Regency. When I went into that first day that I went into check-in, we all started talking to each other and hanging out like we've known each other for years. There was no cattiness. There was no competition. Everybody was so supportive of each other. And that is why I highly encourage people to join not just Regency, but pageants in general. But I mean, if you could join Regency, you know who to reach out to.
You can see the experience. Well, I'm so glad you had that experience, and I think that's really what the goal was for myself when becoming a director. As I said, I love to just experience things, and if I love it, I'll turn it into a business.
Yeah.
And just to be able to really test the waters. And, I've been able to experience a lot of different systems.
Yes.
And what the culture I wanted to create was just that. I think that pageantry does create a sisterhood, but there's something very special about Regency. It's inclusivity. It's acceptance of all talents and ages and backgrounds,
body types, everything.
And the girls are just so appreciative of the opportunity. It's the best, and it really has grown so much since I started it in 2019.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So it really
amazing.
hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
Granted, we went through a pandemic, so I did my very first live pageant.
Wait, can I ask about that?
Yes.
How did you do a COVID pandemic pageant? Because
Well,
everything's supposed to be on stage in person, right?
yes. So okay. This is something. No. This is something that like most business and entrepreneurs do, right?
Okay.
They model their business after an experience or something that they had done themselves.
Okay.
So I'm like, dang it, I can't host a pageant anymore. I'm so sad.
Okay.
Then I saw somebody else host a virtual pageant.
Oh.
So I decided to join because I was like, if they can do it, then I can do it.
Right. Absolutely.
So let me see how they did it. And God willing, I did win the title of Art and Beauty Magazine, Ms. Art and Beauty Magazine 2020. So what they did was we did a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
A Zoom interview.
Zoom call, yeah.
And then submitted a photogenic photo. And then submitted one video of ourselves. And so I was like, yeah, I can make that happen with Regency.
Yeah.
And so that's what we did. We did Zoom interviews. Everybody submitted a photo electronically.
Wow.
And then I just had everybody just take a video of themselves. And I said, listen, it's nothing. This is just something for you to do because we're at home. Let's make the best of it.
Yeah.
Girls did it outside, at the park, in their living rooms.
In their dresses.
But it was also like so creative too. I was like, oh wow, these girls like really put so much work into it. But
wow,
it did make it really fun.
Yeah.
To be able to post content and see the girls get excited that they were, a part of something, even though we were in a very strange time.
Yeah, and everyone was like all
apart
and stuff.
Yes.
That's really cool because you never think that you could do a virtual pageant until
now we know. Any event we can do online.
And with Regency, are you able to kind of plug to our audiences the different age groups and for people who are interested in maybe joining?
Of course.
Yeah.
So Regency International Pageant, it is an international pageant. And as Cirimille said, I am the proud director of the preliminary. So I run Regency West Coast. We give out the titles for California, Nevada, as well as Pacific Coast. And there are 11 different age divisions, starting with tiny. You guys, we have like girls from 4 years old all the way up to like 60 plus.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's
and we're all friends, which is the coolest part.
Yes. So we start with tiny, which is ages 4 and 5. And then we have the petite division, ages 6 to 7. We have the little miss division, which is ages 8 to 10. Junior miss, ages 11 to 12. Junior teen, ages 13 to 15.
Oh.
The teen division, I know, 16 to 18. The miss division goes from 19 to 28.
Okay.
And then Ms. is 29 and up. Mrs. must be legally married. Classic is any women that are ages 45 and older.
Wow, that is so
and then we
cool.
now have the curve division, which is dress sizes 14 and up. So as I said, it is a very inclusive pageant, and we just really have a great time getting to know each other. And mainly, it's all about being a part of your community and finding ways to outreach. If there's something that you're passionate about and have a personal platform, this really gives an opportunity for girls to share with others what they're passionate about and how we can be able to give back.
Wow, that's amazing. It's just so cool because it shows that no matter what age you are, what background you come from, any of those like characteristics, you really can be a queen. You can help the community. You can do what you want to do, to help yourself grow mentally and emotionally and all of that.
Exactly.
Right? And if they do want to join, is there a website that they can, or do they reach out to you directly?
Yeah, so go ahead and follow all of our social media, which is at Regency West Coast. We are currently accepting applicants and contestants. It's going to be so fun and so exciting. The pageant will take place March 22nd and 23rd. This will be in Orange County, California. But I will be hosting the first workshop here in Vegas.
Yay. Okay.
And that'll be on January 13th, Saturday, January 13th. It's completely free for all girls. And like we've said, there is no experience necessary. You'll have the opportunity to hopefully meet the wonderful Miss Nevada Regency International, Cirimille, as well as the other pageant queens. We'll be talking about the pageant, what we're going to learn, modeling, public speaking.
Yeah.
I mean, you attended last year. It's a quick but really educational experience.
It was very helpful. I mean, I went into it really scared, and then I walked in late, which was so Filipino of me. Yes. And right when I walk in, Christy's like, "Oh, introduce yourself," and I'm like, "What?" And keep in mind, I had no public speaking experience. I had absolutely no pageant experience, but I was like, let me just, give my all and go full force into this. And
clearly a natural.
Thanks to you.
Oh gosh, no, I didn't really do much. But
and can you plug Studio Sash as well? What is your socials for that?
Yeah, of course. So yeah, just find at Studio Sash, and I'm really excited because outside of pageantry, I am working with a few clients one-on-one on public speaking as well as media training.
Oh.
Just being able to, pretty much do something like this.
Yeah.
Podcasts and making appearances is such a big part, not only of pageantry, but just being a business owner in general when you are having to promote an event or starting to market yourself. And it does take a little bit of time to really master the skill of just banter. And I actually used to help with media training for law enforcement back in the day.
No way.
So it's not limited to just pageant
girls,
coaching.
yes.
But if you are anyone just interested in just, picking up and sharpening your public speaking skills or interview skills, or just being able to be out in the community and knowing if a camera is on you and, you got a reporter come up to you, that you'll be able to handle it like a pro.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you. Do you have any last words for business owners, people aspiring to join a pageant, people aspiring to try something new? What's your advice? And the youth, of course.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Okay,
it's a loaded question.
For those who are interested in pageantry,
yes,
and have never done it before, you will be just so grateful and in shock with what the takeaways are. Mm-hmm. And I can't even put those into words, because your own self-growth is your self-growth. And to be able to feel and build that confidence within yourself is priceless. So if that's something that you want to do, go for it.
Yeah.
Cirimille knows one of my biggest mottos is be brave.
Yes.
It's life has so many opportunities, and I've been able to, I'm very lucky to say I've been able to really kind of try a lot of things.
Yeah. And grasp those opportunities.
Right.
Yeah.
And if anything interests you, even if it was becoming an MMA fighter, wanting to be a host of a radio show, learning a new skill.
Yes.
Life is short. We only live once.
Yeah, amen.
Do it.
Do it.
We don't have to be experts. We don't have to be masters. But if something within you or something outside of you is telling you that this is the direction, or this might be something that is sparking your interest, go for it. Don't let anybody else talk you out of it. At the end of the day, it's you, your life, your opportunities, and your experience. And then you'll be able to share and give back and continue to pay it forward with others with what you gain from that.
Yes. Oh my gosh, what a fantastic way to end this. Thank you so much, Christy. I just wanted to say thank you again for, your time, for coming on to this show, and, hopefully inspiring some individuals out there, men, women, young, old, everybody. Christy is really a fantastic, rare breed on this earth, and I just want people to know her because she could really make an impact in other people's lives, and I hope that those people's lives can pass that down as well. So again, if you need to reach out to her for any consulting, media training, all of that, Studio Sash is her Instagram. Her personal is Christy-Anne Lopez, right?
Yes, that's
correct. And then
correct.
if you are looking to join a pageant, Regency West Coast is coming up. Please reach out to either one of us. I can help you. She can help you. And yeah, I guess that's all.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome. You're an amazing host.
Oh,
I'm so proud of you. I'm like, I have to look up.
The tears are coming. I really have, Christy knows, come a long way, because I used to be this scared little girl, and I can't believe here I am doing shows like this and not even like having to think, like skip a beat with everything. It's just like starting to flow naturally. So
I have seen you blossom, and your energy and your true passion for what you do just shows. And I think people gravitate towards you because of that. It's like you're just such a natural light. And I guess that would be like the biggest message today is like shine your light.
Yes.
Continue to shine your light. That's what God wants us to do. And I think this is also the biggest message to Filipinos.
Oh, yes.
We have to shine the light that we are given because we are just blessed with so many talents.
Yes.
That's not something that we need to hide.
Yeah.
That's not something that we should feel shameful of. We're blessed with it. Dance, sing, host, you name it. Like, there's nothing that we can't do. And what I've noticed a lot, unfortunately, in the Filipino community at times, especially for the younger generation, they're holding themselves back, and I don't know why, but I think that we, as a generation, as a first generation, it really is our responsibility to tell them. This is your time.
Yeah,
you have an opportunity to live here in the States.
Yes,
it's nothing like what our ancestors and past generations have had to deal with. So take these opportunities because we're just so blessed to have it all.
Yes, share those talents with the world. I've seen so many, I know we were supposed to close this, but I've seen so many like Filipino artists, like people who paint and stuff like that, and you don't get to see that often because they kind of hide it away. But then when they finally show it, all these amazing pieces come to fruition, and it's like, how awesome is that? So yes, please, please, please share your talents. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to be proud of who you are. And don't forget to embrace that cultural legacy.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide. This is Christy-Anne Lopez, Cirimille Paglinawan signing off, and we will see you next Thursday.
Ultimate guide to anything Filipino in Las Vegas. This is the Las Vegas Filipino Resource Guide radio show on PHLV Radio.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.